Hey, I would like to introduce you to a pretty cool piece of software that we're going to be using throughout the year, and it's called Inspiration. You may have actually already learned how to use it, but one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go into your Applications folder and we're going to drag the icon to your dock so you always have it ready. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to go into your hard drive and you are going to go to your Applications and you are going to look for Inspiration. And when you open up that folder, you are going to look for an icon that looks like this, and you're actually going to drag it to your desktop. Now it's bouncing because I double-clicked, which means it's opening. And we are going to take a look at, now that it's on my desktop, when we open it, how to use it. Okay. After you double-click on the Inspiration icon that is now on your dock, you're going to get a window that looks like this, and you are going to double-click on Diagram. I call these inspiration diagrams concept maps. It's a way to sketch ideas and talk about something without having complete sentences. It's a real sweet way to get information out really quickly. And notice that we have a workspace, and that central main idea that you're going to be writing about is right in the middle. And today, your main idea is you. So while I type you in here, you're actually going to be typing your name. So as you type your name, I want you to think about things that you would tell people about yourself if you've never met them. As a matter of fact, even if you've met them, they're always going to learn something new about you. So one of the very first things you might tell somebody, and you notice we've got some little crosshairs over here, you might tell somebody something about your family. So I'm going to come over here, and we've got some shapes up here. And I am going to select a square, and we will talk about your family. We will also perhaps talk a little bit, and I'm going to select a different shape, a little bit about your home. And I'm going to move this around. Just click and drag and let you move it. I also might want to talk a little bit about hobbies. And then there's bound to be some very interesting, really cool stuff about you. And we're going to go back to a circular. And there might be some other cool stuff about you. Now, if all of these things are about you, we really need to connect them. So I'm going to click on the center idea and notice that we've got squares and we've got triangles or little diamonds. And what I want to do is play around with those a little bit. Squares can make it bigger, the big central idea. And so I'm going to leave that there. But we've also got these diamonds. And notice that we get two little, they look like rings or links of a chain. And that's exactly what they do. They allow you to make links. So I'm going to click on this diamond and I'm going to make a link to the family box. And now when you start elaborating more about you and your family, you're going to be able to connect that link. You are going to have your name in here and my family, and you're going to be able to talk about that. Or you're going to be typing about it or sketching or diagramming about it. And then we're going to come back to you, and we have to make sure that all of these funky highlights make sure that you're talking about you, and we're going to make some connections to hobbies. So when we type and click on that link, we get a text box, and things I do are your hobbies. And then we're going to go up to you, and we're going to click on home, and you're going to talk about where you are from. Now these links can move. So notice that if I click on this, I can pick up this diamond and I can move it anywhere I want. So it can give me a little bit of flexibility in how I organize it. But as long as home is highlighted, I know that where that link is going to go. Last but not least, I want one more link. Other cool stuff. And then more things about, whoops, spelling. More things about me are other cool things. So you have actually created a very simple concept map. And today you're making a concept map about you. And I'm going to show you how to add more information. So now what I'd like to be able to do is show you how to elaborate on a particular part of a concept map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of our concept map, and I'm going to move it up a little bit because I want to focus on hobbies. Now, I don't know what you like to do for hobbies, but I'm going to share a little bit about what I like to do for hobbies. And now I'm going to create links a little differently. You can do the same thing a number of different ways. Right up here, we've got these create links. And what I want to do is, at about 11 o'clock, I'm going to create a hobby link. Notice it doesn't have the same shape, and that's okay. We'll fix that. And I'm going to come back, and I am going to create 3 links. I have to keep going back to hobby and create a whole bunch of bubbles because there's a lot of things I like to do. I want them all to be the same cloud shape, so I'm going to adjust their shape, and I did that by clicking on the symbol palette. And notice now I can talk about 3 hobbies. If I wanted to add a 4th one in there, I can, but I don't want to keep this, make it too complex. I just want to keep it simple. And I like to run. I hope so. I'm a cross-country coach. I like to make that capital, make bread, and I like to sail. That was my new summer passion, so I like to be able to do that. And you can never leave a link unexplained, so I like to cross-country run. And I like to make homemade bread, so homemade is equal to yum. And I think I'm going to go back and edit that, double click, because homemade is 2 words. And on the lake, I sail. So I'm actually creating an explanation without those complete sentences. Now, because all of my hobbies have the same shape, I also want to make them the same color. So I'm going to highlight them all, and I'm going to go up to Effect and say Fill Color. And let's see, I want to make this a really nice, let's go light purple. Things I like to do. Now I can do some fun things with pictures. If I come over here to my symbols, I can take a look at, if I go to my everyday symbol, I can say sports. And let's take a look. I'm going to click on that. Notice that I have some running. I do like to bicycle an awful lot. And yes, this guy's on a track, but I don't really like running on the track. I really like running in the woods. But it's a good graphic, so I can do one of 2 things. I can either click into space, I've got my crosshairs here, and I can insert a graphic that says, hey, I like to run, or I could actually click on my graphic and I could click on the symbol and change it. And I'm going to undo that because I like having both the bubble and the graphic. Now I know that I went over here and I said food, and if I take a look, food 1, food 2, no bread there, health, I think I have to go back to food 1, and there was a symbol for bread. So I'm going to click off into space, make sure my crosshairs are there, and I am going to click on a piece of bread. Boy, that's a really big piece of bread. I think I want to make it smaller. And so I've got a piece of bread there. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually click and drag a picture that might be on my desktop onto my concept map, so there's a real legit picture there. Kind of cool. But for now, I'm just going to keep it there. And then let's see, do I have a graphic for sailing? I don't want it on the bubble. I'm going to move my crosshair off. And let's see if I have everyday, sports school. Let's go down to transportation because you could transport yourself by boat. I'm not sure that I see a sailboat. Technology, sports, don't see a sailboat there. School, this might be a perfect opportunity to import a picture from my desktop. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I love stuff. What's in stuff? Not a whole lot in stuff there. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking for pictures, but I just want you to see that you can jazz up your concept map. So something I've done is I have separated my subcategory about me in the same color and the same shape, and I've explained my links. Now what I'd like you to do is I would like you to create a concept map about you, and I want you to tell me not only about your hobbies, but about your family, about your home and where you're from, and then you can make some bubbles about other cool stuff. So, with that in mind, I am going to ask you to take some time to use shapes and colors and pictures to tell me a little bit about yourself in the form of a concept map. Ultimately, this is going to be printed and put on display for the whole school. So think about some really cool things about you that you want to share with others, and I want you to have fun with it. Just to give you some idea of what your final concept map might look like, I want to bring up one that, let's see, I want to bring up one that I've done recently, and we'll take a look at this one. Okay, so maybe it wasn't so recently because I was 38 at the time. There are definitely ways to change your background, but I wanted to incorporate lots of colors and lots of pictures, so I included some things about me. I like music, I ride a motorcycle, I've done a Pan Mass Challenge, if anybody's familiar with that. It's a 200-mile bike ride for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. A little bit about where I'm from, mostly New England, and things I like to do. I told you I like to make bread and I like to run, but I love to knit, love to read, and we've got some sports going on in my life. So I play hockey on the local women's league, and I rode a mountain bike, but then some things about my family. Oh, this is definitely old because we don't have Fluffy anymore. My husband and I, my husband's name is Rob. Hannah is now in college. She's not 10. And Zoe's a junior. She's definitely not 7. But this is what a concept map could grow to look like. I look forward to seeing yours. Have fun making it, and we will also have fun sharing it. Thanks.